Welcome to another midweek S&P 500 analysis. Today is February the 3rd, 2021. After last week's pullback is the S&P 500 and the stock market launching a comeback. In this video, we will look at the recent price action of the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the internals to see if they are telling us a new high is forthcoming. Looking at the daily chart of the S&P 500, we see the first 2 days of the week were quite strong. But today was a little bit indecisive, and it is a little bit over 25 points, approximately 25 points away from its all-time closing high. And you can see that the price action, if it continues to move up, we're still looking for this to come up and possibly put in a new high and see it could tag the 3900 or get above the 3902 here up at the upper channel. But if it decides to pull back, then we basically once again looking at this 3720 as the potential support, and also inside of this bottom of this price channel. But the key is 3720 and also the 3900 level. So those are the two targets that I'm kind of looking at for the near term. And looking at the daily chart of the NASDAQ 100, we see it almost made a new intraday all-time high. It was around 2.25 points away from that all-time high here. Also from the price action, we see the NASDAQ 100 open up near the all-time high and then it faded throughout the day. So the price action is kind of bearish. And as you can see, it also closed down about 0.4% or more than 50 points. So open up near the all-time high and then close down. That is quite bearish. And from the sentiment chart, we see that the VIX came back into this 2030 zone. Although it got as high as 37.21 last week. And then now it's coming back to the mid-20. And in addition to that, throughout this this move up on the VIX, the put-call ratio never got up to this 0.75. The highest it got was somewhere around 0.64. And right now, today, it's down at 0.5. So the market participants were not in a panicky mode, and neither were they really in a serious risk-off mode. And it appears right now that they are back in the buy the dip mode. So let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange Cumulative AD Line. Here on the Cumulative AD Line from the for the New York Stock Exchange, you can see today actually made a new high at 23,235, and the last recent high was somewhere up at the 23,179. And the S&P 500 is still a little bit distant away from the all-time high. So it closed below the all-time closing high. So that is a positive divergence between the cumulative AD line and the S&P 500. Now from the NASDAQ cumulative AD line, although it did not put in a new closing high, the last high is up at 19,322. And today it closed at 19,158. But the other thing is the NASDAQ actually closed down. So this put in a positive divergence between the cumulative AD line and the NASDAQ 100. So that too is also positive in terms of the cumulative AD and the index itself. Now, just take a quick look at the market profile of the E-mini S&P 500 futures. I just want to point out a couple of things that give us a clue that the market could be headed higher. The first thing I want to point out is this particular, what we call a naked point of control or virgin point of control. That's the point of control that hasn't been tagged yet by price action. So that's why we call that a naked or virgin point of control. And it's sitting at 3848.25. And it was put in on January the 26th, and that was the day that the NASDAQ closed at a new all-time closing high, while the S&P 500 did not. Then the other thing that I want to highlight is today's poor high here. Now, I haven't updated today's chart yet, But we see that there is a pull high over here. And today's high is 38.40. So usually these pull high or pull low that I called it out during my tweak on my Twitter stream with this chart every evening, is that within a few days, these pull high or pull low will likely get resolved. In other words, the price will come up and tag those levels before it either go back down or continue to move up. So these pull high, pull low is another indication that the price will highly likely will come up and tag these levels before it choose a particular direction you want to go. So with this, if it come up and try to resolve this pull high, then the chances are it could propel it to move up and tag this naked point of control that was put in on January the 26th. So in other words, we could see that it could come up to this 38.48. Then who knows, right? That might even push us up to a new all-time high. So that's why we have to look at things in context. The internals and the sentiment and the price action all seems to indicate that the recent pullback seems to be another dip buying opportunity, and the market participants are coming back in a buying mode. So with this buying mode, it could push the index back to a new high. So we just kind of wait and see. But at least right now, the price action and the sentiment and the internal seems to indicate that there are a little bit more positive upside in the near term. Be sure to smash that thumbs up to help me promote and share this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.